Before I start off, I'd like to give many thanks to all the individuals who really helped today become a reality. And there's so much that goes into assembling a recruiting class, a lot of behind the scenes individuals, but it starts off first and foremost with our coaches. Our assistant coaches did a tremendous and outstanding job. You look at all the identifying and then the building of relationships. In this recruiting class, the relationship building, the trust factor, has been over a year in the making, and I think that's evidenced by basically no drama today. And I think that speaks volumes for our coaches and the way that they built trust, the way they built relationships, not only with the prospective student athletes or their families, but also the high school coaches. And thank you to all the high school coaches of our signees, to all of our newcomers that really helped us throughout this process. The coaches' wives, they become sometimes the father figures of our children while we're out recruiting, and the countless hours that we spend. And there's a lot, again, that goes into it. Our coaches' wives, people in our university community, starting with Dave Hart, Jimmy Cheek, everyone for really allowing us to have the facilities, the vision to be able to attract a very high caliber student athlete to the University of Tennessee. All the professors, the many advisors that would give up their Saturdays, their Sundays, their weekdays, their evenings to spend with our prospective student athletes and their parents. The Thornton staff, led by Dr. Joe Scoggin, Brian Russell, and everyone. Again, the countless hours that they put into it. And again, one of the selling points in this recruiting class were the academics in the Thornton Center. Our recruiting department, led by Bob Weldon and Dana Morrison and Scott Altizer and Brandon Lawson, and all the behind-the-scenes individuals that really made this a reality. So much effort that goes behind when these individuals come on official visits, are really selling them what the University of Tennessee has and the great city of Knoxville that we have. The MVP, the Tennessee Air Force, I say it every year, but this week they were instrumental. All the great donors who very willingly gave of their planes. I can't tell you where we'd be without them. This year we are a little bit behind in terms of the recruiting calendar. As everyone is probably well aware of, is that the recruiting calendar was cut short by a week. So we were down a week in recruiting, so it was catch up after the dead period expired. And so to be at different places, and when you're recruiting nationally, you can't have any wasted time, and then all the elements, Mother Nature from being stuck in Atlanta and trying to get out of there, and them actually flying a plane in to get Coach Gillespie and I, and having about 2 minutes to get out. I've never been a part of anything like that before. So again, many thanks to all their hard work and their efforts. To our fans. Our fans are the best in the country, and they do such a great job of creating a lot of positive energy and a lot of pride. And it really reinforces the importance and the magnitude of Tennessee football is not just in the great state of Tennessee, but nationwide. Every single individual in our signing class was present for a game day atmosphere. They are able to take in and feel that positive energy by our fans and our fan base, and even our local media. I think sometimes we forget that we're all on the same team, and the parents, every one of the prospective student athletes, they read the newspaper. They want to see how supportive our media is of the Tennessee football program. They want to see how our fan base is supportive. We had some kids, they wanted to be dropped off at the mall, and all they wanted to do was walk around the mall and say hi to people and see how they would respond to them. And parents the same ways, walking into a pilot, walking into a gas station, and the people being friendly and asking questions. Tell me about the Tennessee football program. And really that was their evaluation tool to see how people would respond, going into local establishments. All those things are critical when you're selling a brand like we have here at the University of Tennessee. UTSports.com. That today was amazing. And I don't think people understand the magnitude and the effort that goes behind that. I left the office yesterday at 10:30 at night, and everyone was still working, setting up for today. They arrived today while I was still in bed at 4 a.m. They were in there setting up. And Barry Rice, Link Hudson, Sarah Mitchell, Donald Page, They do a tremendous, tremendous job, and those are all the behind-the-scenes individuals that never get much credit. You know, when we started off on this journey of assembling this recruiting class, we have a very strict recruiting profile. We call it the Tennessee recruiting profile, and it encompasses many, many things. And the first in order is an individual's character. You know, what are their grades like? What are their academics? How do they value a college education? You know, the overall character of this prospective student athlete. Then we get into competitive character. Do they like to compete? In our football program, we must have competitive greatness in everything that we do, that relentless approach which we talk about each and every day. Then we get into position specifics, broken down by position. The next thing is a toughness level of everything that we do. We talk about being Tennessee tough. We want tough, smart football players. The next thing we get into are the measurables, obviously height, weight, all the measurables you look for, and then football makeup. You know, we either talk about you either live it, love it, or like it. And we need individuals that live football every day. And I think another thing in our recruiting profile is we wanted individuals that understand what it is to wear the power tee, that understand the standards and the expectations that come along with representing a storied program such as the University of Tennessee. And that was big on us. And you look at our in-state recruiting, I want them to understand our rivalries. I want them to understand our great former players. I want them to understand what it means to represent this state. You look at the legacy players, and then we venture off into other areas that are basically our home bases in recruiting. So I feel that we are really, really able to attract that in this recruiting class. We really feel this class will represent Tennessee in a very positive manner, both on the field and off the field. You know, one of the things we looked at was size and speed. Make no mistake about it, a few months ago, I sat up here and I told you, and us to move this football program forward, we needed to create depth, we needed to create competition, and we needed to improve our overall team speed, our size, our quickness, our explosiveness, and I really believe we were able to do that. However, I want to guard against all the expectations that are going to come with this recruiting class. And we have to still remember that these are 17 to 18-year-old individuals. It's like raising your children. Everything is about their personal growth and development. And each individual will mature differently. And so we're going to be an extremely young football team this year. But I'm excited because I think we'll be youthful, but we'll be very skilled and very talented. But again, I think it's very unfair to put a lot on the shoulders of this recruiting class. As we know, this recruiting class will probably be judged 2 or 3 years down the line. But I think we were able to address a lot of immediate needs